Hello, my name is Mary Faye, and I've been a genealogist since 1990. Today is the tutorial number 4 for Heredis 23 on the Mac. We are going to go over census entry. On the right, I have the records I have found on Ancestry for Miss Rhoda Way, whom we used in our last tutorial to enter the death and burial event. I'm going to open this 1891 Census of Canada, and here I see the summary information from Ancestry regarding the 1891 Census of Canada. The best way to enter a census record for more than one person is to go to the very top of Heredis and click on Census right here. A new screen comes up. You can put an image here, which I am going to do. I believe I've already downloaded this, so let me go to Finder and drag it and drop it, just like that. I love that feature. Now, we have some information to fill in for the record reference. It is pre-populated with some popular countries. We're in the United States. If the country you want to enter is not listed, you can go to Other and type in a different country. We are using the United States. Or no, we are not. We are using Canada. It pre-populates many of the years. This one is 1891. The date is what I use from the census image itself. A lot of people wrote down exactly when they wrote the information. So on ours, it was April 27th, 1891. I will put that in here. And the city was Township of Sophiasburg, Prince Edward, Ontario, Canada. Sophiasburg, Prince Edward, Ontario, and it's not recognizing what I typed. I'll click New Place, and it populated the city. It shows suggestions, and this is exactly what I want. So I will click that, fill this info, and click OK. Now here we can choose what facts and events to enter from the census. We're going to use just basic information. Once you have chosen the optional entry fields that you want to enter, you go up here and you click on Source. And this is the default title it provides. I like to be consistent with mine, so what I do is type the year so I can find it easily. And I do Census of Canada, and I put in on the title who this is for. This is for Benaniel S. Salisbury and Rhoda Way family. The document is a census. It is digitized. The quality of data is certainty. The repository, it came from Ancestry. The date, we will put today. The archive, In some cases, I will find out where exactly in Canada these records are and put that information in here, and a URL so that I can get to it quickly. Let's move on to household. The address, place, subdivision. This is where you can enter the home address if you have one, if it's written in on the census like it is in the United States quite often. This one does not appear to have a street or home address. Trying to zoom in to see what these fields are. It's very hard to determine. For this, I will leave blank. The composition is the number, is what I use it for, I should say, is the number of people in the household. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Household of 9. And down here I will choose add a new person. It defaults to head of household for the first person you enter. And we see he is listed as B.S. Salisbury. Male or white, male, 52, born in Ontario. It shows that his parents were born in Ontario and that he was a Methodist. In the surname, I will put Salisbury and Benaniel. And as soon as it finds a match, it turns red, letting you know, hey, there's a name similar to that in your database. Is this the guy you're entering? So you click on that red arrow right there, and it wants you to select your person from the list. Our person is Benaniel S. So I will select him and choose OK. His occupation, according to the census, is a farmer. So I will enter that. He is the head of house. He is Canadian. He was born in Ontario, so he was Canadian. About 1838 is pre-populated based on what we have in there already, and we will leave that. It says birth, date, city, subdivision. Well, we know he was born in Ontario. That doesn't exactly qualify for a city. The age of record is 52. He is married. His parents were from Ontario, Canada, and it shows religion is listed as Methodist. Now we're not done. We still have the rest of the people to enter. So we will go over here and enter the remaining people. The next one is Miss Rhoda. I am using her maiden name because that is how I have her in my database. So I will select her and add her. And she does not have an occupation. Her household status is spouse. She too is Canadian. We have her birth information. At the time of the census, she was 46 and married. On the census, she shows her parents from Ontario, Canada, and her religion is Methodist. Next, Salisbury. This is Zanena. So we'll choose Zanena. She is the son daughter. She is Canadian. She is 18. She is single, and she is listed as a Methodist. Okay, we have entered all of our household members in, and what we will do now is we will go to the Family Links tab. And here we see it says Way Rhoda, spouse of Salisbury Benaniel. And we're going to click this button to add a link. And that is, she is the spouse of Benaniel. Zenana, daughter of Salisbury Benaniel and Rhoda Way, is the child of. And you have lots of options. For example, if Harvey here were another type of relative to Benaniel and Rhoda, you could put that in here. If you don't see what you like listed in here, you can choose other type of link, and right here in this box you can type in what that type of link is. So we're just going to go through here and say yes, these are his children. Miss Edith is my great grandmother. Once we have all of our family links set the way we like, and you could go back through here and add another one, say for Zenana, that she is the child of Rhoda. You can go through and make sure that it says, and I forgot this, you can go through and put in both parents. This linking system is very good to establish whose child is whose when a parent dies or remarries and has additional children. All right, so now that we have all of those family links set the way we want them, go to additional information. What I like to do in additional information is to look at that summary. Because I started with Rhoda, I will grab all of that, I will copy, and I will click into additional information. I will go up to edit and paste style. And all that entire summary is now here. Go to the household members, I will cut. This is the way I do it in my own family file. It's not the way you have to do it. I'm just showing you what I do to see what everything's like. And from here, what you do is you click validate. And this is going to commit everything to the database. It's going to show you all the matching persons and the information you have entered. Over here, it's going to give you a summary of all of that information. Down here, for the source, it's going to say, do you want to create a source? Do not create a source, or choose an existing source. We're going to ask it to create the source. And I always say assign the source to the events, facts of the persons concerned. This will create a census event under each of these people and assign this source to that event. The summary I assign to save in the event note, and I ask it to assign the media to the event. You have other options if you want to change that, and you can assign the source to just the census. I like to assign it to the events. Here you would click. If you want to enter another census record, you would click Next for Save Data and enter a new census record. Or if you are done entering a census record at this time, you would click Validate. And then you will notice, here is our primary person, wrote away, and she now has an event called Census with this S. This S means it is shared. And if you click on the Participants tab, you will see it is shared with everyone. And yes, you will notice there are ages that are not populating, and that is because, to save time, I did not go through and enter the ages for everyone in this tutorial example. On the sources, you will see that it has the source Census Canada that we specified. Under media, it will have a picture of that census. Now, because I personally like to have the media show up here when I'm on the sources tab, I will edit that source. I will go to media. I will click add media, choose from media index, and I will choose the 1891 census and drag it over. And again, I will copy the information from the summary into the transcription area so that I have that as part of the transcription. If there's any note that I'd like to put, I can do that here. I can verify the details of the quality, and I can click OK. And now that is here. If I go to details, we'll see that on April 27th of 1891, when she was 46 years old, she lived in Sophiasburg, Prince Edward, Ontario. And here is a summary of that census record, pre-populated in the notes from that one data entry session. I stated there were a couple of different ways to do census data in Heredis. So suppose that when you imported your GEDCOM, you had census data that you had already entered, and you want this neat feature of the census information being shared among all the household members. How do you do that? I got you. We're going to go over to Mr. Benaniel for this example and see his events. You'll see the shared census record of 1891 that we entered previously. And then here you'll see a residence event. Generally, from my experience, I have seen our census records come in via GEDCOMs as residence events. So this is what I have done to get these things connected. First, I'm going to go in here and correct the date for this particular census. So I need to look at the image and find out that date, because as I said, I like to be consistent. On July 12th, 1900, we are on Mr. Benaniel. He was 61 at this time, and he lived in Walworth, Wayne County, New York. So I will put that. Walworth, Wayne, New York. I'll ask the system to look for it, and it has found it right there. We will replace, and we will click OK. The place subdivision. Let's see if this census has a street name, has a street dwelling. Number of dwelling is 232. Let's see. Oh, they made some corrections on this one, didn't they? It does not look like we have a street name, number of dwelling, house in the order of visitation. So the house number that they lived in at this time was, I never trust the transcription down here. I always zoom in and look at the actual written, and this was written in, looks like they had 337, but I also see where they scratched these out, so we're not quite sure. So we're going to leave the house number alone on this one. We don't exactly know, do we? Let's put a note. House numbers were miswritten and transcribed inaccurately. No street name provided. So now that we have that, I'm going to select this residence event, and I'm going to choose the pencil and say edit. For the event type, I'm going to change it to census, and then I'm going to click OK. Now that I have that changed to a census record, I'm going to select it again, and right down here is share. But I don't want to do that just yet. Why? I want to attach that source to this record first, and the media. So we're going to go over here to sources, and we're going to click assign a source. 1900, it is not in there. We will enter a new source. It is a record 1900 United States Federal Census, Walworth, Wayne, New York. The document is the Walworth, Wayne, New York Census. In notes, I will put Supervisors District 14, Enumeration District 128, sheet number 16. See if there's any other information we need to pull from the top of this. That looks like it. In the media, I'm going to attach that picture. Go to downloads, grab, drag, and drop. Now we have our source, we have the media for our source, we have the note for our source, which I'm going to go ahead and copy. I'm going to click OK. For the note, I'm going to paste that note in there. I'm going to add that media in this position as well. Grab, drag, drop. For the transcription, I'm going to come over here and I am going to copy that summary that Ancestry provides. Select it, copy it, paste style, and then I'm going to click OK. Now that I have all of that done, I missed a media. This seems repetitive, but I promise you, for the various reports and things, it is worth it to make sure you fill everything in that you can. So now that I have everything ready, I'm going to select Census and I'm going to click Share this event. It shows Benaniel Salisbury is currently the only person on this event, so I am going to select him and double click, and I'm going to change his role to head of household. I can click OK. I can run through and choose Way Rhoda. Choose her. She is spouse. OK. Harvey is in this household. We're going to add Harvey right there. Choose. He is a son in this household. Okay. We have Pearl Salisbury. Pearl. There's Pearl. Choose. She is a daughter. And we have Cecil and Stanley and Annie. And I do believe those would be the children of Harvey. I will have to refer back to the image for this. Yes, Annie is Harvey's wife. We don't know who she is, except that she's married to Harvey and she is the daughter-in-law of Benaniel. So until we discover what her real name is, she will be entered as Annie. There is no matching person to Annie, so we will say add. And her role is others, other role, daughter-in-law. And in comments, we will put wife to Harvey Salisbury, most likely, since she and the two children and he are living there. And we have Cecil and Stanley. So we will put Salisbury, Cecil. There's not a matching person. We will add him. And he is a grandson of the head of house. And we will put parents presumed to be Harvey and Annie. And then the last one is Stanley. And by doing this, you are adding these people to the database. So when they come up in your research again, they will already be there and you will know where they fit in at. We're going to add. He is a grandson, and we are going to put again presumed child of Annie and Harvey. And there you have it. You have a shared census record among all of these people, the same as if you had entered it through the census thing. So if I jump over to Eliza, you'll see she has that 1900 census with all of those details. The one thing that will not be here is that nice summary that you get when you enter it through this census up here. That's the only thing missing when you do it the way I just did. This nice summary is not created when you change a residence fact to a census fact, but it is an easy way to tie everything together. With that, I believe this tutorial is complete. I'm sure there are things that I missed, but I believe I went through all of the important features I really wanted to teach people about entering census records through the handy feature census button at the top and changing a residence record imported from another program to a shared census. Thank you for coming by and watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will be getting another tutorial out very soon. Thank you. Bye.